Got the freaking sweetest rifle in the world, and I could probably see anything with this thing. I'm not even sure what that is. Blind someone, probably my mom. Don't even care because it's super cool. Everyone think I'm cool. It even has a butt. That's fucking sick, dude. That's so sick. Oh man, this thing is so cool. Everyone's gonna love me. I'm pretty sure I know what this thing does. Makes it more clear. Hope you're ready, bad guy. Hope you're ready, Saddam Hussein. Round 2. Let's go. We're gonna win this time. I'm gonna nail this. Everyone's gonna think I'm cool. We're gonna get 200K subscribers. Oh, wait, this sling thing. This is cool. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even know I could cough in my mind. 220 pounds, full of chemicals. Don't know what this does. What is that? What does that do? This be sick. Got a magazine, Magpul. Thanks for not sending me the RXM. They probably just don't know how cool I am. Probably don't know I have a light cap. It's definitely not 3D printed. And let's go. We'll go now. F you, pet guy.
I forgot to get ammo. All right. Good range sesh, boys.
All right, guys, welcome back. And thanks for sticking with me. Hopefully soon, I got a doctor's appointment and they tell me I could start running around and losing matches again. But until then, I wanted to make another video, and it's kind of like the last video with subcompacts, but this one is going over a different kind of trend or a trap that I've noticed. So this video is really gonna go out to the people who are building rifles, just getting into shooting and stuff like that. And that trap is not getting sucked into something just because you look cool. Because no one cares if you look cool, if you can't shoot, or if you're not serious about what you're doing, for the most part, right? Some people get away with it.
Can you see me? No, you can't. Hey, if you guys get a chance, go check out Handle It Grips. Use code COX, 25% off. Honestly, if you get there, there might be better deals. You don't have to use code COX. I think they got like 2 for 1 or something, but it's an awesome family who owns the company. Love the product. Go check them out. It's pretty much all I put on my pistols, unless I got a crappy stipple job. Thank you, Handle It Grips. When I first started shooting, I fell into the trap of, okay, I got a rifle, right? I got the bare necessities, what I needed. From watching YouTube, from being on Instagram, not so much Twitter, I don't know, I just started using that X thing. Hey, Mike Lee, we still don't like you. I fell into this trap that if I didn't get the most Gucci stuff and I didn't get every single capability known to man, then automatically, no matter what, I wasn't gonna be able to defend myself and my family. I wouldn't be able to go hike in the woods and survive and, I don't know, be the coolest militia man I possibly could be. But what I wanted to go over, and again, for these new guys just getting into it, is need versus want versus train. That's kind of how I see it. And I want this to be a discussion instead of me just preaching. So get in the comments wherever I'm lacking or you want to add, you want to subtract. Let me know your thoughts. What do I mean by need, want, train? Say that 3 times fast. Right, when you get a rifle, you get a working rifle. I'm not gonna go into what rifle is best, what is the craziest thing, what's the twist rate and everything like that. There's a ton of videos that go over that. I mean, rifle reviews and then people who really get into testing the rifles, there's a ton of videos out there that you can watch, whether it be, is this chrome line, what's the twist rate, the gas port size, anything like that. But I'm just talking about what you need versus want versus train. It's kind of how I see it in my journey through the gun world. So when you first get a gun, let's say limited budget, right? When I first started getting into guns, even now, I'm definitely not a rich man. I'm more likely to get rich than they are to release the Epstein files, but still, I think I'm quite a ways away. I think those both are. But when you first get a rifle, what do you need, right? You obviously need the rifle. And in my opinion, you need an optic. Now, it doesn't have to be the most Gucci optic in the world. I don't want to say the cheapest, but you don't want it to be kind of Temu status to where it's just gonna break all of a sudden, because I've had that happen to where, oh, this is a screaming deal on Amazon and I got sent a counterfeit. And you need a light, right? Working rifle, optic, light. Right here, one of my rifle builds. I got this a long time ago. This is an Anderson lower with the Palmetto State upper, and it runs just fine. Now, is it gonna go 70, 80,000 rounds? I don't know, I haven't put that much through it, but it works, and it works for right now. And if there's a bad guy at night, I can make it to where there was no more bad guy within reason, right? I think this one has some aftermarket charging handle. It might be counterfeit, I'm not even sure. That was one of the things. I couldn't find like the super plain Jane stock charging handle. And so I just left this aftermarket, whatever it is, on there, and I guarantee you it wouldn't have happened. So one of the few things that isn't like the most plain Jane, the charging handle is what broke. So spending money doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna last. What happened? That's wild. Let's see where it broke. Of course you need stuff to complement it. This is where what complements a rifle, but you kind of, in my opinion, you do need it. I think you need a good sling. So right, I like to run flatline fiber co. I've been getting into that lately. And then something to hold your mags, because if you don't have mags, you don't have bullets, and if you don't have bullets, I need more bullets, I need more bullets, then you lose right from the get-go. And then something to hold your mags. Now, whether it be a belt, right? Because I got a whole cool belt setup that I've done, or if it's something like this is an Ex Umbris Designs, I learned how to say that recently, that can hold a few mags. It's nothing crazy, right? But it works, and it works well, and I like it. And especially dealing with tennis elbow after competing, I tend to mess with a rifle, which I didn't think I'd say. It's really adding up already. Rifle, optic, light, a sling, something to hold your mags, a chest rig of some sort, or something on your belt. I mean, if you have to put them in your pockets, that's fine. You also need mags. So that's the bare minimum of what you need. If you can't afford it, or you see all these guys on YouTube with completely decked out rifles and all this stuff on Instagram, like completely decked out, there definitely is a peer pressure. I can't tell you how many times I've been to the range with dudes who will show up with a ton of stuff on their rifle, and guess what? They can't shoot. Instead of focusing on that while you're getting your money up, as they say on the South Side, get ammo. Get ammo, shoot, train. That's it, man. Don't feel like you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars of money you don't have because you've watched all these videos, because you've seen all this stuff on Instagram, and although they may not be saying it directly, they may not even be implying it, but the way you perceive it is that I need that on my rifle in order for it to be a true rifle. That's just not the case. Look at all these great shooters. There are a ton of great shooters who compete, who do all this stuff, and they absolutely rip. We're gonna get into the want category, the things I would maybe upgrade as I started to get money, right? Ignore a lot of the stuff on the rifle, because I'm gonna get into that in the train part of this. Think of it like this, is you have the rifle, you have some spare cash, you have ammo, let's say the mags, the chest rig, essentially the bare minimum you need to go out and do X, Y, Z, whether it be the range, or maybe you don't need the government of England anymore, something like that. So one of the first things I like to do with mine is I get a different trigger. There are some dudes who could just run the regular, what comes in your rifle trigger, and it'll work. It'll do the job. But something like these triggers, like my go-to is the Geisley SSAE. I just like it. It makes shooting a little bit better. You'll get a little bit faster splits. I always have so slow splits. And also shooting distance is a little bit better, especially when you got that heavy mil-spec boy. But again, dudes have been doing it for years with what just comes in the rifle. You look at dudes like Mil-Spec Mojo, and whatever is in their rifle, they can run insanely fast, right? So that's not the end all be all, but it does make it a little bit nicer. And then after that, for sure, a can. This is what will cost you money. And recently, as you know, there are many of those in the government who advocate for gun rights, but then settled for still having the NFA. The NFA should be abolished.
as well as the ATF. That being said, unfortunately, the way the world is, this is gonna cost you quite a bit of money. You can do your own research on cans, watch a bunch of different videos, preferably ones that might do an in-depth thing, right? Those guys, there are some guys out there who have a real passion for this stuff and can really lead you on the right path. So absolutely it can, right? It really starts to add up. Between the trigger and a can, it's over 1,000, easily, right there. After I do the trigger and the can, you could start to look at things like foregrips. It's not gonna cost you a crazy bit of money. They're all different types, all different shapes and sizes. What's up, Fetsy?
What do you mean by that?
You can add like something like a hand stop, a vert grip, whatever it is. I mean, I've been through so many that it's, I don't know, it's wild. Some dudes like to run them, some dudes don't. But these are things that are just complementing my rifle, right? Like I changed the buffer system to something a little bit different. Maybe I upgrade the stock. I like the B5s a lot. I changed the grip. These are all things that kind of complement the rifle, make it a little bit easier, a little bit nicer, a little bit smoother. But it's not stuff you absolutely need. This is the want. This is the category of want, right? Like light switches. Although before I could just, like on this rifle, I could just press a button, right? I have to change my hand position a little bit maybe. But on these ones, it's a little bit more intuitive. I can press a button. It's wired all the way down. I mean, there are a ton of things, 1,000 different configurations. Once you get ammo, once you're training with your rifle, and once you're in a position financially, step into that want category. Don't think you have to max out credit cards or anything like that just to make a rifle look cool, because you don't. There are plenty of dudes out there. Shout out to Kev, he was in one of the previous videos. There is a whole summer where all we did was shoot rifle. And right, I had, it wasn't this particular rifle, I think it was my 14.5 URGI, and it's Gucci, it's cool, and he was running the most basic rifle on earth, and he was putting in work. So don't think you have to get these things. Wait till you're in a position and then start complimenting your rifle. The things you want, the things you want to do to it. Upgrade it, maybe spare parts. Maybe you want to change the bolt. Maybe you want to change the bolt carrier, things like that. The charging handle, right? I like to change my charging handles as well. I like the Geisley airborne charging handles. Don't like airplanes, but I like the Geisley airbornes. A lot of dudes will just jump in. Maybe they have someone to guide them or something like that. And let's just say they just want to jump in. They want to spend a bunch of money they do or don't have. But there's a real benefit from shooting, especially a plain Jane rifle, because as you shoot it more, as you go about learning how to shoot it, you realize that, oh, this has some shortcomings. If I just had this, you know, I'm 10,000 rounds deep, and I think this might help. You really start to learn what you might want. And when you spend that time learning the ins and outs, what could help, what could not help, it's gonna ultimately save you money in the long run, because I can't tell you how many stocks I've been through, how many grips I've been through, whatever it is, before I'm like, oh, I like that one. I didn't shoot my rifle enough. I was in too much of a hurry to look cool for Instagram. And guess what? I'm not cool. It's all just numbers at the end of the day. Let's get into the train category, because there's things on these rifles that it really is, it could fall into kind of the want, but I think it's the train. And what do I mean by that? I mean that there are things on my rifle right now and things on dudes' rifles that they might know how to use functionality wise. They know what maybe that button makes laser go that way, right? But if they really know how to use it. And I can tell you right now, if you look at this rifle, this isn't how I normally have it. I've literally seen dudes with rifles with this much stuff on it who don't know how to use it. And even myself, I'm a complete poser. You see this IR laser, which cost me $2,000. That $2,000 could have been spent on a family vacation. That $2,000 could have been spent on ammo. That $2,000 could have been whatever, plus the $8 grand I spent on nods. And I can tell you right now, while I had the money, there were definitely way, way better things I could have spent it on. Other things in my life that have to do with shooting or don't have to do with shooting. This laser and those nods, I haven't shot under nods in 2 years. Now, at one point in time, I did quite a bit. I've taken a class under nods, or I've taken a night vision oriented class. But at the end of the day, I'm just a poser. I'm the guy I don't want you to be right now. I don't utilize the things I have here, right? I've used this some. I know the basic concept of it. I know it's cool. I need to spend more time with this. Why do I have that on my rifle, right? How much money did I spend on this? I can't tell you how many dudes have been at the range with me. They get to like 25 yards and they throw that up for no other reason than it's already there because they paid the money. I don't even know the proper applications of this, right? I hope to learn, and I hope to learn with you guys, but is there a best time and place? Is there a certain distance? Is it gonna cost me more time? Maybe there's dudes out there who spent enough time on their basic rifle, what they actually needed, ran enough ammo through it, and they get to a certain distance and they already know, I don't need this guy. I don't need that at that distance. I can put hits on target with just my optic, right? So that's what I'm kind of getting into. And white light goes back into that too, because it's not, although a light definitely falls into the need category. You want to be able to shine a guy at night, right? I think some may differ, but it also, something like that also falls into that train category. Because I guarantee you there are dudes, like through a friend who was talking to another guy who has used cool stuff in cool or not cool places, however you want to describe it. And there's something he said that he said, right? So third removed, second removed, whatever it is. And that's, if you put him up against a guy who doesn't know how to use his nods, all he needs is a white light. And that's it. And that's that train category. So just think about the stuff that you're getting before you get it. Think about the time you have. Think about the experience you have. Think about those who you surround yourself to. And the biggest thing is, for those younger guys and those guys just getting into shooting, do not feel like you have to max out your credit cards. That money you're saving, if you just had a kid, young couples, whatever it may be, do not spend your last dime on stuff you don't need. If I can convey one thing, it's think about it. Think about the bare necessities, right? I got a rifle, I got an optic, I got a light. I'm gonna save up money. I might have some extra cash. Maybe next year is a bonus, whatever it may be. Don't drop a bunch of stuff on money you don't need. So I'm not saying anything bad about the things on here, right? I'm not saying that having an LPVO, right, with an offset dot is bad. I'm not saying having a laser is bad. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is, if you're not in a position yet, then just wait. Don't feel like you need to get it to be the cool guy or to match what you've seen on the internet. And if you do get it and you really plan on getting it and having these tools in your toolbox, set up a plan to actually use them. Because you want to know a secret that isn't so much of a secret? I've been to filming days. I've been at photo shoots where it's the most tactical thing ever. It's really solid, right? And they will literally take paper and dumb shit and fill it in these pouches to make it look like they're being used. They will throw it on the ground and drag it. Now, is that bad? I don't know. You be the judge. But I feel like sometimes it can convey the wrong message. I get a little bit passionate about this because I think I've been relatively hovering around this stuff for long enough that I would much rather see dudes shooting and learning and everything like that rather than going out and dumping money just to get beat or to not know how to use it. Let this be a discussion. If I'm missing anything or if you have a counter opinion, maybe not counter, but just a differing opinion, leave it in the comments, you know? And also, if you're one of those guys who just wants to drop coin, this is America. We're not communists. Go spend that money. Just be prepared if someone makes fun of you when you got all this stuff on the rifle like I do and you don't know how to use it properly.